Ta-da!
Hello,
It's
mate.
Martin!
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I bought you a little treat
You
today.
bought me a treat. He's got a new car.
No.
Oh, my God.
No, I haven't got a new car. One of my best friends, a friend of yours, basically it's a car we fully PPF'd. He thinks this thing's the best thing since sliced bread. And he's basically hiding around the corner and he's given us the keys and he wants you to have a little go on it because he loves the channel and he thinks you'd like this car.
I can drive.
You can.
Woohoo! Right. So this, to me, looks like a Honda Civic
Sure is.
Type R
The latest creation.
FL5.
Is that what it's called, is it? Because I don't actually know.
I've been looking forward to driving one of these for a while. I think these cars look nice. The previous version of it, the elephant in the room was the way it looked, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was the FK8. They
That's
called
it.
it. That's actually the one I like the most.
Yeah.
But they've made this a more grown-up boy racer car. That's how I look at it. But it's true because it's still got some lovely touches, but it sits under the radar a lot more.
It does.
I mean, it's beautiful. This championship white as well is just, it won't show on camera, but it's just got that, we were just talking about it the other day, weren't we? How it's just got a slight hint of cream.
There is a hint of cream to it, yeah.
It's just very, very nice. I mean, the guy who owns this car's anal is an understatement.
Yeah.
We've had to fully PPF this car. He's even got floor mats so we don't get the mats dirty. He's actually let me take the seat covers off today, just so we can.
You got floor mats all round.
Yeah, and we've been privileged enough to actually get to show people the beautiful seats in it because I think these seats are just phenomenal. I've just been in it.
The
and
quality of them is really
oh, it's
good,
just
isn't it?
the way they hug you. It's phenomenal.
My hands are clean. My hands are clean. I love this. So I think what we need to do is get this out on the road
Yep.
and get some road testing done.
I think we need to go and have a little look and have a little drive, see what it's all about.
Okay guys, so we're road testing, we're in the car. I've made extensive researching notes which I'm going to give to Martin.
Which I can't read his writing, so we're all good.
But I want to start with the basics of this car. How much does it weigh?
I don't know. I think probably about 1,400 kilos.
Something like that. So I've read some reviews on this and one of the pieces of criticism was that they've made the car heavier, which seems to be a common trend with modern motors, but 20 kilograms, which I think is what this car is, isn't especially heavy for a four-door modern hot hatch that's almost like a saloon. So I'm not overly concerned about the weight, but I think it's gained about an extra 50 kilos on the previous model, which isn't insignificant.
It's a big car though.
It is a bigger car, yeah. You could get, and those seats in the back are not like a disaster, are they? You could actually have people in there on a journey and get quite a lot in the boot. So it's actually a reasonable, practical kind of hot hatch slash saloon with the four doors. Hot hatch saloon almost. My initial impressions, just getting in the car, starting it and driving out of my drive, it feels like I've been driving this car for the last 5 years. Nothing feels unusual. You know what I mean? Some other cars, you've got to get used to where the positioning of everything is, but the clutch, brake, accelerator just feel well positioned. Everything's comfortable.
The seating position's good.
Seat's lovely. I will say, I don't know if electric seat adjust is an option on this car, but that may be good for some people. It's because of the weight, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so the seat adjust can be a bit fiddly. You've got to kind of lift your weight up, and obviously when you carry a lot of muscle mass, that can be difficult for
Like
guys
yourself.
like me, but I didn't see you struggling there, Mark.
No, I was all right, thanks.
Now, what's the engine performance on this car?
I don't know, what is it, about 320? Oh, I meant to be reading this, John, sorry. I just can't really read your writing. It's 330 horsepower.
So this is another really cool thing, a 0 to 60 time of...
It's not the fastest, it's sort of 4.9 seconds, I think.
So around 5-ish seconds, yeah, roughly, because I think it varies a bit, doesn't it?
But this car isn't really built for the 0 to 60. This car's built to eat up road.
And I'm impressed with that, because how easy is it to add power to cars nowadays? 330 brake horsepower is nothing. They could build a car, Honda, it's well within their capability to build a 500 brake horsepower hot hatch.
Of course it is.
There's a limitation obviously with the drivetrain and how much power they can put through that, but they could build in more power. So I love the fact when a manufacturer doesn't care about 0 to 60 times and actually builds a car around a good chassis, you know, good dynamics, rather than just giving you grunt.
I think the issue is, though, it's still a front-wheel drive car, so 330 horsepower through the front wheels is a hell of a lot of power. Let's be honest. You know, they've developed this car to eat up bends. I mean, I think the top speed, from what Mitch was telling me, is 170 or 177 mile an hour, which is, for a hot hatch, that's mad.
So it's not restricted at all?
No, it's not. And the way they've developed this car with a gearbox is just phenomenal. So, yeah, it's not built for the 0 to 60. It's built for, you know, out and out performance,
handling, all that sort of stuff. And the Nürburgring time round there is ridiculous on this car, I think, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I think it's done the front wheel drive record, which, you know, you're looking at your 7 minutes 40s, aren't you? 7:40 something, 7:45.
And that is roughly what my M4 CS was doing.
Yeah, and this is a family hatchback.
And that's a 100 grand car as well.
Yeah.
So the performance of it is phenomenal without it all just being grunt, which is what I like. Straight away,
steering.
This reminds me a little bit of your Club Sport S.
Yeah.
In the quality of the ride. I mean, it's a firm ride, but we're not getting thrown around at all, are we?
No. I mean, what mode are you in? So you're in individual at the moment, which is the mode that Mitch has set it on.
So if we go to race...
So you can go down to sport. Oh, that's individual. Then you've got sport. So that will liven up the throttle response, I believe, and again, change the steering slightly.
It's a bit
then
stiffer.
we've got the R mode, which is full. Should we press the R mode?
Let's go into R mode. Oh my God!
But you can see the dash has changed. You know, it's...
But even in my Porsche, when I'm driving, I know this road like the back of my hand. I'm getting thrown all over the place in my Porsche with stiff suspension. This is smooth, but it's stiff. So how on earth they're doing that, I've got no idea.
It feels really good, actually.
It does.
It's not sort of teeth rattling, is it?
It feels incredible.
You know, it's on, I think, like 30 profile tyres. Just, you know, there's not a massive amount of rubber, is there?
No, but it's the suspension setup as well. It's just... I mean, whatever they've done there to make it that stiff, but not to feel all of the bumps.
Yeah, it's very compliant, isn't it?
Oh. Now we're going to go through a nice section of windies here.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to unwind the car a little bit, but it's treacherous conditions.
Well, it's not ideal, but...
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
The gearbox,
obviously, the gearbox...
It reminds me of the EP3.
It's so nice, isn't it, the gearbox?
Yeah, the feel of the
so
gearbox.
Light. The throw's just so accurate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good gearbox, a lovely light clutch, lovely light accelerator pedal, and a really good brake feel as well. Really well set up, this car.
Feels lovely. I mean, you're not even driving it hard.
No, you can't.
It just feels...
I'd love to put this around a circuit. I remember going around Brands Hatch chasing an FK8 in my M4, and I thought, Jesus, those cars are quick. And this is every bit as quick.
It's quicker.
yeah, quicker.
That's the whole point. I mean, this is quicker. It may be heavier, but it's quicker. They've just really worked on the way it brings in its power delivery and the handling of the car. It feels really good.
Now, the elephant in the room before we started talking about, well, before we took this car out, was the price. Mm-hmm. So these cars have got a rough on the road price of 50 Gs.
I think he paid 50, just over 50,000 for this.
You know what? I started this review and I thought that was going to be the point of contention. This is a 50 grand car. It's a 50 grand car.
Well, you compare this to the Golf R, which I think spec'd up is much more money, and you've got the RS3, again, more money. Yes, all right, they're the German build quality, but I think if you want something that's really fun, I mean, again, there's not loads of these either. We were discussing this, weren't we, the other day? How many have you seen of these on the road?
This one, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I've not seen them, and there's not many for sale. So, you know, they are quite a limited car, I believe, as well. There's not loads and loads of them, and I think soon Honda will be following the trend with changing the way that they power this car. So
are they going to electric or something?
It may be hybrid. I really don't know. I think there's been talks about it, but you know, they might not make this car for very long.
Oh, it's lovely.
Look at the shift light on the dash. That's really cool. I didn't notice that.
It's lovely to drive. It's not sketchy at all. It's not sketchy. So I've been used to driving my 996 with completely like bald tyres with no grip. this feels like I could just absolutely go hell for leather with it. I mean,
It feels
great
really
car.
planted, doesn't it?
But what we're going to do, Martin, a little bit of trivia, because I want to test your Honda knowledge and the knowledge of any viewers watching.
I'm a Porsche and Volkswagen man.
Well,
I've had a few EP3s, and I still, in my opinion, think that's the best Civic Type R ever made.
yeah, well, that's pretty special for its time, isn't it? I mean, this is obviously a better, more capable, faster
100%.
car.
100%.
But the DNA of that EP3, I can feel it.
Yeah.
What I want you to go through every single mark designator, like this is the FL5, for all of the Honda Civic Type Rs. And if you're watching, I want you to put them in the video. Don't Google it.
So EK9,
Good.
EP3, FN2, FK8,
No, you've missed one.
FD. No.
No.
So you've got the FK8, and then there's the. What's the
And
one
then this
before
one.
this?
FK8 is before this.
So what's the one that I like? The one that looks like it's come out of Halfords.
That's the one you've missed.
Yeah, that's the one I really like.
That comes after the FN2.
Is it FD2?
I think it's FK2.
FK. Oh, well, so hopefully one of the viewers will be able to help me.
So what did you say? EK9, EP3.
Yeah.
Sorry, EK9.
EK9, EP3, FN2,
FN2, FK2, FK8.
and then this.
And a partridge in a pear tree, FL5.
Yeah, but so the one that I like, that I remember you saying looks like it's, you know, part of spaceship.
FN2.
Now, they made that for only a couple of years, and believe it or not, I look at buying one of them all the time, and they have never really dropped in price. So, starting point on them, I remember looking at them when they were new, they were at 25 grand. They're 2016 now, like that's when they were made, and they're still fetching around about 21, 22 grand for
You're
a
talking
good
about
one.
FK2s.
So
yeah.
what a car. And I got told by the Honda dealer, and I didn't believe him at the time, he said to me, they're only going to make these for a couple of years and they will hold their money. And I was like, typical car sales patter.
Yeah.
I wish I'd listened. Because they had a little
People
dip.
say that. Now, you could go and buy like a Robin Reliant that's full of
Well,
rust, and he said
I know, but
they're reliable and they're going to hold their value.
But the thing is, they had a dip because they bought the newer one out, and then people realised that the other one was very, very good, but it was again a lot bigger than that one. And now obviously we've gone bigger again, but they've just nailed this car.
Oh, it's so good.
Sounds lovely, doesn't it?
It's so
got a really
good.
nice engine sound. And what's nice, it's got no artificial sound that I can hear.
Yeah.
Unless he's just not got it activated. But it sounds like an engine.
I'm done with all that kind of synthetic stuff, like in this sort of car. Like, I just want it to be raw. I want to be able to hear a real exhaust note. I want to be able to feel the vibration. The steering rack we were talking about at the start.
The steering feels phenomenal, doesn't it?
It is, but I think it's an electric rack. I think it is, because I'm not getting. Well, I could be wrong. You end up saying it maybe, but it feels like an electric rack to me. But it feels fine. I mean, it's very responsive, no play, just a really well set up car. I'd love to put this round a circuit. Mitch, get it round a circuit.
He'll never do that. But look at the seat, look at the floor covers, and we're privileged enough to let him take us the seat covers off. I mean, when he bought the car, he wouldn't drive it till we'd fully PPF'd it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously being a lot of money.
Yeah.
This is more of a car for him just to have forever. I mean, looking at the mileage on it, I don't think it's done many miles at all. He didn't long run it in. It's
3,000 miles.
Oh, it's done
roughly.
3,000 miles. So
Feels
it's
like-
not a lot of miles.
No.
You know.
I was telling you a story. The only other Honda Civic FL5 I've seen was another one of these, white, be PPF'd. It was brand new. The guy bought it, ran the engine in, and booked a track day. Took it to Goodwood, and on the first session, came off the circuit.
Smashed it up.
Yeah, and wrote the car off, I think. Or
What
it
a
was,
shame.
It was bad. Yeah. So.
Tell you one thing that's really nice about this car, which is very different to a lot of cars. There's no real clutter on the dash.
That's nice, isn't
It's
it?
really, really simple and smart, and it feels quality.
It does.
That's really nice, and I love the numbered Type R badge. I think that's brilliant.
And
It's
it's
just
not-
really nice that, like your temperature gauges and that, the way they're illuminated.
It's not
just
tacky, is it? It's not tacky.
It's
Sometimes-
such a simple but lovely. What do you think? I mean, the steering wheel looks
Steering
lovely.
wheel's good quality.
It's got not got a
Alcantara
silly
is
amount
nice
of
and
buttons on it,
soft.
has it?
No, it's more Stezza stuff as well, I think, and speed limiter. So there's no. You're not going to need to use that for driving controls at all. So
your volume.
You're basically driving, and that's it,
Yeah.
which is nice. And you've got your driver modes down here. I mean, it's a simple thing. Look, really with a driver's car, you're less worried about all the buttons and really just worried about the basics, the steering, the throttle response, the brakes.
How do you think the clutch feels?
Clutch
Lovely.
is beautiful, mate. Clutch is light. The gear change is good. It's got
gear change is lovely, isn't it?
Has it got a blip?
Yeah, it has got a blip.
Yeah, so
You're
it's
in
got
Type
the
R
old
mode.
throttle.
Yeah, it must have a rev match option on it when you have it in Type R mode.
I will say this. To experience this car properly, you've got to be redlining and you've got to be up in the high revs, like all these Honda engines. So at the moment,
They love to be revved, don't they?
yeah, we are driving this extremely sensibly because it's not my car. I mean, I'm putting it down there and, you know, we'd keep going normally on a track or something. You just keep revving and then you'll unlock the fun and you'll unlock the chassis on a dry day where it's gripping and you're hanging onto the car. But just incredible, yeah. What else, if you're in the market for a performance hot hatch that you can use on a daily basis, you could drive to work, you can do stuff on the weekend, you can drive it into towns.
Chaz.
That was it?
Yep.
And but once or twice a year you could take it on a road trip. Well, or take it to a track day.
Yeah.
If you're not considering this car and having a look at it and test driving it, you're an absolute lunatic because
It does everything.
yeah, it's got to be in the discussion. That you've got your VW guys, Martin. You like your Golf, so do I.
Yeah.
You've got your
100%.
Honda guys.
Well, Mitch was a Golf guy, so he
Yes.
had a Golf R before this, and then he got the Performance Pack Golf GTI, which he was a bit underwhelmed with. He loved it. It was a lovely looking car, and the technology was great in it. A few too many buttons.
You know
in
what they say though? Too good.
Yeah, it was a bit underwhelming, and then when this came out, he just loved the look, and obviously you had your car reviewers ranting and raving about how good this car was, and he just thought, you know what, it's going to be the last car I buy, I plan on keeping it forever, let's just do it. And
What else would be in the discussion then beyond Golf, Honda? You'd go to Renault after that, wouldn't you?
well, it's a hard one, isn't it? Because you've obviously got your Volkswagen Golf, you've got your RS3,
Oh yeah.
you can't really go wrong with the Cupra either.
But the guys that want to drive fast on roads go with the RS3. The guys that want to go fast around the Nürburgring will buy
M2?
one of these. Yeah, but it's not the hot hatch. You'd have to
No,
be down
you
to
are
the
right. So-
and BMW with the 135 is
Let's
just
think.
not that great.
So let's think. Hot hatch.
We're missing some obvious ones here.
I know we are, but we're just Honda out.
There's nothing in the pug range.
No, not anymore.
There's nothing in the Citroen
Hyundai,
range.
they do a good car,
The
and it's not
i30,
loads of money. Yeah,
You'd have to consider that would be the one to go for if you're on a bit of a budget. 'Cause
brilliant
it's a
car,
bit cheaper.
30 grand.
Yeah,
what
and
a
the
car they
track
are.
warranty.
Yeah, fantastic car.
So really, you're talking the Hyundai, Honda, Golf,
Audi.
Audi. What's the one we're missing? Renault.
Now Renault have bought. Oh yeah, the Renault Megane.
Yeah.
But then their top of the range Megane, their track version is what? It's ridiculous money, isn't it?
Yeah.
Way more than this.
Yeah, but you can get the.
I know you can't get the other one, but I
RS.
still think they're the similar sort of. Oh, you've got. What about the Ford? Are Ford doing anything
yeah.
now?
Well, they've got you've got the Ford RS, haven't you?
Yeah, but
Focus
what, have they
RS.
bought a new one out of those?
No, they haven't.
No, I don't think they have.
They've given up on that car.
Yeah. I don't really know what else is out there. It's a really tricky one, actually. I've got a mind blank.
Yeah.
When we stop filming this, I'm going to have a list of cars that you could compare it to. But right now,
It's sad, isn't it? Because they're not. Only a few companies are going to be doing this.
well, I can't believe Ford are getting rid of the ST Fiesta.
I think it's the regulations.
It's
mate.
madness, though, isn't it? I mean, it's not a car that I would buy, but it's such a popular, great car. I don't know anyone that didn't like the ST.
I think they're
and then they're stopping it.
They're being too penalised to produce
I know.
cars which are not
Electric
sort of
cars.
efficient. Yeah. So yeah, it's all coming to an end, unfortunately. I will say one thing I want with this, and I don't know if it's got something like some mode, but the exhaust note could be a bit louder.
I think it has got lots of different modes.
Oh,
but
is it?
like I say, as I don't know what any button does in this car, and I think also you've probably got to.
What's that R plus button do?
Well, I think we're in that, but I'm just trying to work out whether there's probably in the settings
Brakes are
here.
phenomenal.
Yeah, in the settings, I'd imagine there is, but I think it relies on the revs, which obviously we're not really giving it, are we?
No. So
all in
all, Martin, I'm going to give this car. Can't even give it marks out of 10. All I'm going to say is if I was in the market for a performance hot hatch, this would be one of the 3 cars that I would go and test drive, along with the Golf's offering, Volkswagen's offering, Renault's offering,
yeah,
what we've
Cupra,
discussed. Yeah, all that stuff. But this would be up there as a real contender, and like all the reviews that have raved about the car, I think they've probably got it spot on, because from the feel of it, it's just really, really nice. This one's over now. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to tune in, and thank you, Martin, for bringing it round to show you.
Just broke your camera bit.
Oh,
Never
don't worry
mind.
about that.